Good morning, everyone. It's Robert from My Turntable. Hoping you a great morning this morning. It is Thursday morning, as always, a coffee kind of morning. Cheers, everyone. Hope everyone's doing well. First off, I want to wish everyone a very happy new year. All the best in 2025. Happiness, health, financial positivity rather than financial struggles. Mainly happiness and health. I just hope the best for everyone. I really appreciate everything that your support, your love and kindness by following my channel, all your wonderful, wonderful comments. I share my comments with people that and family and friends, and people are just astounded by how positive you guys are, and it just makes me encourages me to continue to do this stuff. I know there's many people, content creators who do videos on their negative comments. I couldn't do that because I hardly get any. Touch wood. But I'm not here to talk about that. I just want to thank you and say again, Happy New Year. If you notice, also took a picture of my new shelving units from IKEA to hold my albums. I love them. Didn't take that long to put together. I've still got one more to do. I just don't have room on this side, so they're going to have to go over that side. These two that I showed in the picture house from A to S, and then obviously over there it's going to be from T to Z or Z, depending on where you live. But there's no ZZ top, it's ZZ top, so who knows. Or zebra, or I just, whatever. But I'm looking forward to, it's a great way to start the year, being organized and not have piles of crap all over the place. And I pulled some albums for this video today, so it was easy to pull. As more organized. I love the new dividers that I have. It's just everything positive, 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 positive. So speaking of this video, I initially pulled 50 albums. I said, whoa, that's too much. That's too much. I brought it down to 20 because there's many, many albums that are going to be turning 50 this year. And so obviously they came out in 1975. So that's the main topic of this video. So I'm going to show you, and I won't spend a lot of time on each album for time, but I'm going to show you some awesome albums that are going to be turning 50 this year. Starting off with this one from Wings, Venus and Mars, May 27th, 1975. Their fourth album. It's amazing. You got Listen to What the Man Said, #1 single. You got Letting Go, and one of my favorite songs by Wings, Venus and Mars Rock Show, just to name a few. May 27th of this year, it'll be turning 50, as well as this album here. Fourth album by Tramp, Crisis, What Crisis, November 28th, 1975. That was just in a string of amazing albums that these guys were putting out. You got Sister Moonshine, Another Man's Woman, Lady, Just a Normal Day. I only wish that Richard Davies and Roger Hodgson would have got along. And in later years, because their musical styles were so different, but they blended so well together to create amazing music like this. Great album, turning 50 this November. Thank you, Larry Graves, Canadian Stud Muffin, for turning me on to Sparks and giving me this album. This is Indiscreet, fifth album by Sparks. It just says 1975, so I don't have a month that it's going to turn 50 this year. Kind of a departure from Come On to My House and Propaganda, which was more glam rock. This is more theatrical and more orchestral. So the fans didn't really like this too much, but it's since grown on people. I love the cover as well. You could get into the swing and looks. Just a couple of singles off this one. But these guys don't take themselves too seriously. But sometime this year it's going to turn 50, as well as this one. This one doesn't give me a date, but this is 1975 release of Metamorphosis, compilation album by the Rolling Stones. Kind of outtakes and alternative versions of well-known songs recorded from 64 to 70. They name a lot of people on here. I don't know if they're just naming them to thank them or if they were part of this album. But they name people like Jimmy Page and John McLaughlin and Phil Spector, Gene Pitney, John Paul Jones, and who else? Tony Hicks and Graham Nash, Glyn Johns, Jimmy Miller. They name a lot of people on this one, but I think they're maybe just their idols, perhaps. I'm not sure. But a great compilation album, Metamorphosis. Sometime this year it'll turn 50. This one does have a date, September 5th, 1975. Ritchie Blackmore's Rainbow, great debut album by Rainbow, featuring members of Elf, including Ronnie James Dio, drummer Gary Driscoll, keyboardist Mickey Lee Soul, bassist Greg Gruber. This was a BCLT from Aaron Muth and Almar. Thank you, Aaron, one of the most giving people in the BC. Of course, Blackmore would go on to fire most people from the band and replace them with all new, except for Ronnie James Dio. He didn't fire him. But Ricky Lee Soul got smart and left the band before he got fired. He went on to play with Roger Glover from Deep Purple. And then he went on tour with the Ian Gillan Band. Kind of crossed the road and went on to the other side of the street. Because Rainbow and Deep Purple were, two different bands, but Richie was in both of them. So, great album. September 5th of this year, it's going to turn 50. As well as this one. This is the Black Album, or Moxy 1, or just simply Moxy. Great Canadian hard rock band. 1975 release. Again, it doesn't give me a date of this year when it's going to turn. You've got Tommy Bolan, again with Deep Purple, playing lead on all the tracks except for two of them on here. I think he was in the studio when they asked him to play. Somehow he got involved with this album. And he went on to play with Deep Purple. Short-lived, unfortunately, and also a short-lived career. I'll be featuring Tommy in a couple more albums here in this list. But a great album by Moxy. I also love the Red Album by Moxy. I featured these guys in a recent video that I did about the band. This is Warner Brothers Presents Montrose. September 26, 1975 release. They only put up 5 albums. I think I ranked this second or third. It's a fantastic album. Sammy had left the band, Sammy Hagar, and Bob James stepped in as vocalist. Does an amazing job on vocals. Also, Jim Malkavar joined on keyboards. Just added elements to this that they didn't have in the previous albums. This is a great album. Great album. Great band as well. Short-lived. Speaking of amazing albums, Physical Graffiti, February 24th, 1975. So this February it's going to be turning 50. I spent hours looking at this cover when I first had it. So many ranges of musical styles on this one. You got hard rock, and sorry, I got an itchy nose here for some reason. Indian influences, progressive rock, boogie rock, some country rock stomp on this one as well. Custard Pie, The Rover, Wonton Song, Houses of the Holy, Kashmir, Boogie with Stu, 10 Years Gone, My Time of Dying, Bron Yer Ar, the great instrumental. Just so many great tracks. Again, listening to this album and just spending so much time just looking at every picture on here. So good. This another great album. I've been listening to the box set of this one because I've got, I don't know, 8 now of their box sets. So I don't listen to the vinyl too much anymore. But this is Minstrel in the Gallery, the 8th album by Jethro Tull, September 5th, 1975. So this September 5th is going to turn 50. Kind of a different direction from their previous album, War Child. More acoustic and electric blends of sounds. Kind of like Benefit, which is becoming one of my favorite albums. Aqualung, Thick as a Brick. Yeah. Also the last album to feature Jeffrey Hammond, who left the band, replaced by John Glasscock. And I just noticed also when I was doing this that the back cover is upside down. Or, I don't know if that's intentional or if it was just made that way, or I don't know. I never noticed that before because you don't notice it on the box set. But yeah, that cover's upside down. Anyway, maybe it's worth millions because of that. I don't know. This another great debut. This is Blow by Blow, Jeff Beck, 1975 release. Again, no date. An all instrumental album. Fantastic. This guy can make everything sing. I saw him and Jeff Healey and Stevie Ray Vaughan in concert. Remarkable concert. This was his highest charting album, and produced by George Martin. Another great debut, Ian Hunter's first solo album, self-titled Ian Hunter. Of course, the lead singer from Mott the Hoople. Released in 1975, so again, no date. Mick Ronson's on this one. Great collaboration. Wow. Collaboration. Say that 10 times fast. With Mick Ronson. You got the huge hit, Once Bitten, Twice Shy on this one. And English Gentleman, Ian Hunter. Then you got the Dutch band Golden Earring and the album Switch, 1975, again release, no date. Fine album by Golden Earring. Love is a Rodeo, The Switch, Tons of Time, Daddy's Gonna Save My Soul, The Lonesome DJ. Awesome stuff. Turning 50 this year. Fool for the City by Foghat, September 15th, 1975 release. Is going to turn 50 in September. Slow Ride, the big hit off of this one. First album to go platinum. Love the cover as well. Foghat's amazing band. So good. Speaking of Tommy Bolan, Teaser, his debut album. He also, the next album I'm going to show you, they were released in the same year, 1975. This is a combination of a lot of things. You got blues and jazz and reggae and Latin music, all blended together, sometimes within a song as well. Considered one of his greatest recordings. He had a short, tragic career. Drugs really just screwed him up because he had so much potential. But a great debut album. And then this one came out the same year. The only album that he was in with Deep Purple, Come Taste the Band. Yeah, so good. This is didn't feature Ian Gillan or Roger Glover. This one had Coverdale and Glenn Hughes on this one. But he was just so full of cocaine, and he died of multiple drug uses. But it's a great album, underrated album, because there's so many great Deep Purple albums, and this one gets kind of crapped on, but on its own, stands up and holds up for sure. The great Joanie Mitchell, Hissing of Summer Lawns. This is her 7th album, November 1975. So this November it's going to turn 50. Kind of a jazz influence sound. Fantastic. Anything that Joanie puts out is magic, and that's turning 50. Even this fine album that I'm going to show you next, by the Bay City Rollers, turning 50 in late 2025. Pardon me. Huge hit on this one. Saturday night. You got Teenage Heart, Keep on Dancing, Give a Little Love, Bye Bye Baby, Shank. What do you want from these guys? They're so good. They were underrated. Big pop band. I think most of them are gone now. But, yeah. Super, super. Maybe one of the original boy bands. I don't know. So good. I enjoy it anyway. I still a favorite of mine. From Doobie Brothers Stampede. This was April 25th, 1975 release. This is a great album. It's so good. This was the final album before Michael McDonald took over and kind of changed their whole direction, as Tommy Johnson was going through some painful personal health issues. But great album. Take Me in Your Arms is one of the biggest hits of the band. Texas Lullaby, Rainy Day, Crossroads Blues. Awesome album. Love it. Love it. Mr. Steve Hackett, another debut album, Voyage of the Alkalate, October 1975. He was still a member of Genesis at the time of this release. So Mike Rutherford's on this one. Phil Collins is on this one. And I'm not sure if... what's his other... Tony Banks is not on this one. But most of Genesis is on this one as well. Fantastic, fantastic artist. I love all his work. Just amazing. Northern Lights, Southern Cross, the 6th album by the band, November 1975. So this November, obviously, amazing hits on this one. It makes no difference. Ophelia, Acadian Driftwood, they were all performed on The Last Waltz as well. Yeah, what a great album. What a great album. Robbie Robertson writes all the songs. Beautiful album. And finally, from Argent, Counterpoints, 7th album, and the final album by Argent, October 1975. Phil Collins plays drums on this one, as the drummer Bob Henrit wasn't. He was ill at the time. But this is a great album. Rod Argent, of course, organ, piano, vocals. Jim Grimaldi on guitar and lap steel guitar. John Verity on guitars and vocals. Jim Rodford on bass guitar and vocals. And then again, Phil Collins played drums on most of this as well. But great album. So this October of this year, it's going to turn 50. So there you have it, guys. There's 20 awesome albums that are going to be turning 50 this year. Name some of your favorites down below. And again, Happy New Year to everyone. Love you all. We'll talk again soon. Bye now.